Hello and welcome to my Backgammon channel. Today we're going to do a short lesson on the Coup Classique. So if you look over the board, white looks in a hopeless situation where white only has winning chances currently of just under 10%. Of course, here green has already borne off 12 checkers and only has 3 more to take off before the game is won. And of course, white could also be backgammoned, and there is a almost 19% chance of that happening, which would mean we would lose 6 points because the cube has been turned. So things aren't looking good for white. But as always in backgammon, when things look hopeless, there are ways to turn around the game. And the Coup Classique is an example of that. So the features of the Coup Classique are that our opponent has 3 checkers on their 2 point or on our 23 as white, and we have 1 checker back on their ace point. Now if we were on roll as white and we had more than 1 checker on the 24 point, it would be important that we cleared the extra checkers, so we ended up with a configuration that you can see here: 3 checkers for green and 1 checker for white. So now I can tell you that if green were on a roll, green here would have 30 rolls, which would expose a blot, so anything besides a double. And we can run through some of those now. So for instance, if green were to roll a 6-5, 2 checkers would come off. If green were to roll a 2-3, 2 checkers, 5-4, 2 checkers. However, if that were to happen, even if white were to roll one of 11 numbers and pick up that blot, it would still be very difficult for white to win the game with only 1 checker to shoot at. So what we're hoping for in this scenario as white is for green to roll a 1. So any 1 besides double 1, which would be 10 in 36 rolls, would force green to leave a double shot. So for instance, if green were to play 6-1, the 6 would be forced, and then the 1 would have to be played from the 2 point to the 1 point, putting white on the bar. And now our winning percentage has gone up from around 10% to around 30%, because of course now green is in a vulnerable position, and we as white have 20 rolls from the bar to pick up one of the checkers. So now what's important is how we play our numbers. So here, if white were to roll a 2-4, the 2 is of course obvious, we hit. But then how do we play the 4? Well, the 4, it's important to play 7-3 to slot the front of the prime, because we want to pick up the second checker. So here as white, we want green to roll in from the bar with any 3, a 2-1 or a double 1, hitting the 3rd checker. And then we would be on the bar as white, and we would hope for a 1 to pick up that 2nd checker. So we can see how other numbers might play. So here, green has 2 checkers exposed. If white were to roll, for instance, a 2 and a 3, again we follow the same logic and we play the 2 in, and then the 3 we slot the front. If it was instead a 2-5, the 2 would come in, and then the 5 we would play down 14-9 to then give us a good 6 to use on a subsequent roll to slot or make the point. But the idea is we expose ourselves, so we deliberately get hit back by green, so then we can fish for the 2nd checker. Now of course white can also enter from the bar on the ace point. So if that was the case and we rolled, for instance, 1-2 or something like that, then we would hit on the 24 point or green's ace point and then stay back here, because obviously we want to roll a 1 on another roll. So the 2 will just be played by moving the checkers in the outfield or slotting the point as before we saw. So now, if we fast forward the game and green has 2 checkers on the bar and we as white have all these checkers in our home board, so let's just do that. So here our winning percentage has now gone up to 68%. So a huge increase, but we're not yet at the stage we can double. And that point comes where we have 3 checkers taken off. And now we have a redouble and a take for green with 75% winning chances. So you can see from what looked like a hopeless position at the beginning, we now have a redouble and a take, which of course would become a pass when more checkers are taken off. If, however, we change it now, so there's 1 checker there and 1 checker stuck back, and we were to roll here a 2-1, for instance, as white, here green only has 1 checker on the bar, so again we need to think about how we're going to pick up that second checker. And the right way to play 2-1 in this situation is to take 2 off, like so. We hope green enters with, for instance, a 1-5 or a 2-4, and then we hit that green checker again, and we keep recycling to close our board, and then double when 3 checkers have been taken off. So here you can see the value from the starting position that we saw. So when all seems lost, it is often not the case, and you should always keep fighting, because you never know when things might swing in your favour. So good luck, don't get ground down, keep playing and enjoy yourself. See you next time. Bye bye.